Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing RoboCop Rogue City. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zarella. Let's get to it. So today it's all about doctors, burgers, and murder mystery. But before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So we went to go visit Wendell in the prison in the last episode, and you can see how that ended up there. This time around, we are bringing everyone up to speed on what is going on in the precinct. So all of the cops originally thought that Wendell was being bankrolled, and we know for a fact that he's being bankrolled by someone at OCP, and Becker was suspect number one because, you know, he just kind of puts a big target on his own back. And if you don't know why, you watch some of these cutscenes and you'll figure it out real quick. So Becker was the initial guy that everyone thought was the bad guy, and this, I don't think it necessarily cleared his name, but he was much less likely in this instance than he was previously. So we're all thinking basically loudly that the old man, and of course Lewis said the old man is the guy, right? So we have to figure it out. But Becker said, hey, he's untouchable. No, said Dr. Blanche, her laptop had been hijacked and she's in trouble. We came to the rescue, and she kind of sees the other side of it, our side of what happens, and she's like, hey, I can kind of understand your side of things now. And there's a little bit of action between. I don't really want to spoil some of the things that went on there.
Who were those guys?
But there was trouble. We resolved the trouble, and we got Dr. Blanche out of that. So now we're splitting up with Lewis, trying to keep the good doctor and Lewis both safe, considering that Lewis just got out of the hospital. We don't want her to go back in. Although, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, she has the best plot armor of any character in RoboCop. RoboCop gets beaten to smithereens sometimes, and she doesn't even break a nail. So all signs point to the sewer system somewhere in the sewer system, that the laptop was taken. Now, they're not going to be able to transmit any data out of the sewer system because there's way too much interference with all the concrete and whatever else, and all the copper wire and whatever else is going on in between the sewer and up above. And just like that, we've found a victim, a city worker that happened to be down here at the wrong place at the wrong time. Lots of grates preventing us from going different directions. So although theoretically we could, and here we go. Man, he had to have quite a few pot shots on me before I was able to engage. Alright, so looking around. Oh, there's a grenade. Chucked. Yeah, there's more guys up there. And that was it. The slow-mo as you take out the last guy is always fun. Alright. Full recovery, 71% on health, so not looking too bad. Don't have the top tier. I could pick that up if I used one, because each recovery charge gives you about 50%. So I don't really feel like open the floodgate doesn't work. Alright, so we have to follow the electrical lines back to where we were at. Well, at least there shouldn't be any more enemies there. And there aren't. Alright, so now I have all of the active skills. So there are 4 active skills that you can get. You can get them actually fairly early on if you're willing to distribute your skill points across multiple lines. One's a dash. One is you get, and that was it right there. One's a slow-mo, active slow-mo. You can do it whenever you want instead of only for whatever short time after a breach. And then there's a punch, which doesn't come in handy very often. And then there's one that boosts your defense, where you only take 20% damage. Slow-mo, and got the armor. There's a slow-mo right there. You can watch the gauge just go down so quickly, and then you have to wait for it to fill up. Like, you can have it right after you use it. You can just keep using it, but you only get maybe half a second if you do that. Lots of destructibles. Something to scan.
Can't seem to get hold of him.
Ah, there we go. We were able to boost our own signal by using their server.
No, I found a signal booster.
So they have to have an antenna outside somewhere.
The entire OCP communication.
So they're using this as kind of a
It looks like the mercenaries were tapping.
base.
Wonder what they were up to.
All right, up to 100%, 4 charges. We're good to go. Oh, and that guy right there. Oh, good. I was going to be so upset if he knocked down my health by 20% or whatever when I couldn't even react fast enough to his attack. So, as always, you want to kind of look around whenever possible. If you want. If you don't, that's fine. If you only want to focus on the main objectives, you can certainly do that. If you want, I would recommend looking for any XP, PCB boards, upgrade modules, etc. that you can find throughout a level, not to mention the secondary weapons, which occasionally come in handy. Now the turrets, this is the first time we've seen it, so you don't see any until you get to the sewer system. And there is a skill tree line for turrets. Once you get up high enough, you can reprogram them, and they're on your side. So those guys were close enough that I could have used a punch, but then you punch one guy, and then the other guy is free to knock you around. Alright, so I kind of want to go down here. Now when you're looking, yeah, you have to get to the box, the controller box, which is attached by a wire to that.
Please, don't kill me.
Not just one guy in there, no enemies.
I am a police officer.
RoboCop trying to defuse the situation. Got an upgrade, 2 upgrade chips,
Homeless guy living in the sewers.
and I think that's it in this room. I mean, that's nothing. Yeah, right there. So if you have enough points, which I don't, you can reprogram it. It can be on your side. But you have to get to the controller, and it'll take a couple seconds because it's one of those button holds. Oh, look at that. Right outside the door. Honestly, most of the time I don't think about using the punch. Because I've become so reliant. Landmines, you gotta look out for those. They're in RoboCop vision, but they're much, much harder to see when they're in the water. There we go. Took out the turret before it could see me. And dead end. Okay. Here we go. Breach, but nobody's there. Oh, and they chucked a grenade down the stairs, hoping I'd walk into it. Alright, just the one guy, it looks like. Alright, I can get that 11%. These things are kind of a hit or miss. You may need it. Like if I had gotten hit by that grenade, it would have been worth getting it, but yeah, it's very situational whether those things come in handy or not. But it's part of the vitality tree. I'm 80% sure. Part of the vitality tree, so if you're speccing into vitality first or mainly, especially towards the beginning, then you can get your health back automatically and not have to be as reliant on recovery charges. Using the slow-mo, take out what I think is one guy left. Nope, two guys. One guy in the corner there. And that was it. And no more guys in the area, so we can kind of run around, look for stuff, grab anything that we think is useful. They've got a few different types of weapons. It's basically a weapons cache that they have down here. I don't see a heavy machine gun. Oh, another recovery charge. Didn't really need it, but whatever. Yeah, we see here, these guys don't want the current mayor to get reelected, and it looks like they do want the other guy. The other guy is who we saw previously. I want to say John Mills. CEO only. That brings a strong case against the old man.
What did they need it for?
Retrieving and processing data from our evaluations.
From his evaluations.
OCP's mainframe computer. To access it, you need staff credentials, and they have been using Wendell's.
You're saying that OCP has Wendell on their payroll?
Yeah, I mean, we've pretty much known that OCP has been bankrolling Wendell.
I knew he was behind all this. Can you send us over that data?
I am uploading it as we speak.
There we go. 2 more upgrade chips.
So we can get you a warrant for the OCP headquarters.
I am
And then
heading
we can
to
make our
OCP
way out.
headquarters now.
There we go. So we're moving on. Now, I do want to say
We have here a dead campaign manager from Mills's office.
that I want to let you in on a little secret. This side mission, which you can only do at this point in the game, is available. It is quite good. I'm not going to ruin it for you. Going to see all the details here. We're going to move on onto the next portion in the next episode. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.
I assume a failure of the Magnavolt system. I will look into it.
And if it wasn't for that...
Magnavolt is deactivated. It is now safe to investigate the car.
Great. But if you could take a look inside, just in case.
Gladly. The victim was strangled. The rope was tied with a sailor's knot.
Not everyone can tie something like that.
There is an earring on the front seat.
Could be helpful if we find out who it belongs to.
The deceased is holding the phone. The last number dialed is described as the office.
Was he calling his own office during the murder?
The phone, the
Certainly
earring,
worth
and a
checking.
sailor's knot. That's something to go on.
And the place itself is interesting. Less than 100 yards from the victim's office. I wonder why he stopped here.
I will go to the office to see if the victim left a message.
It's near the cinema on the 3rd floor. We need to finish here before we can join you.
Were there any witnesses?
There's that homeless guy across the street. He warned us about the current. He probably tried to steal something from the car. But it's hard to get anything out of him. His hand is fried, but he says he doesn't want an ambulance. Says he can't afford it.
Why would OCP get involved in this case?
Not following politics, huh? The guy was Mills' campaign manager. OCP will do anything to get Mills elected.
Yeah, if everyone hadn't been on strike, they would have brought the whole station down here.
Why did you not join the strike?
I owe Reed a favor.
And you're too close to retirement to risk it.
But there's nothing keeping you here, Officer O'Neill, apart from making my life less bearable.
Well, somebody's gotta watch your clumsy ass.
I will let you know if I find anything in that office.
We'll make you...
Oh, come on, please. May I help you, officer?
I want to speak with someone from Simon Page's office.
Then you're in the right place. Agatha Crane, Simon's assistant. But I'm afraid we have to wait for Mr. Page if we want to go in.
Why?
A keycard issue. I have to recode them every week because Mr. Page has a thing about security. But sometimes newly encoded cards don't work. I call them unpredictable little things. They can ruin even the best schedule.
Mr. Page was murdered last night.
What? Oh God. That makes my schedule irrelevant.
Were you or anyone else in the office yesterday after Mr. Page left?
No. Mr. Page always stays late, and just the two of us work here.
Allow me to check the phones. Mr. Page called the office during his murder.
Of course. But first we need to get inside. Maybe you could help with the door.
Follow me.
All calls go through my phone. It's on the desk on the right. Things to throw away. I regularly clean my workspace. I don't like to be distracted by anything. The phone on Mr. Page's desk is connected to his answering machine. It's the only one in this office.
Maybe he did not get a chance to record his message. Organ selling and other ideas for making money?
The books were bought for show. Visitors don't look too closely, and making an impression is all that matters. Mr. Page's words. Mr. Page's computer. I don't have access to it. Mr. Page's private schedule. Some of his meetings were so secret that he arranged them for himself. I didn't even know about them. Receipts for gifts that Mr. Page gave during business meetings. Did you find any leads? You know, perhaps you should check out Mayor Kuzak's team, as the death of Mr. Page plays into their hands.
According to his schedule, Mr. Page often met with a person marked as G. In fact, they met yesterday.
Oh God. Could he be the murderer?
Do you know who that might be?
As I said, Mr. Page had a thing about secrecy. I wasn't allowed to view his private schedule, so I don't know all the people listed there.
What about his receipts? There is one for earrings, Who were they for?
For Gloria. Oh God. G.
Gloria who?
Gloria Lindbergh from Kuzak's campaign office. Mr. Page wanted her to change sides.
Do you know where she lives?
It's just a short walk from here. An apartment opposite the basketball court. I don't know the exact address.
Are you Gloria Lindbergh from Mayor Kuzak's office?
So OCP is using less and less subtle methods to intimidate us. What do you want?
I am here to ask questions about Simon Page.
He's my political opponent. I have nothing more to say about him.
Mr. Page was murdered last night.
Oh. Too bad for him. I kinda liked him. So why are you here?
We have reason to believe that you are involved.
On what basis?
Evidence suggests that you had a relationship with him.
Evidence fabricated by OCP?
Did you or did you not meet yesterday?
I was supposed to, for business. But Simon called my office and canceled the meeting.
The investigation demands that I search your apartment.
If OCP wants to frame me, you probably won't back off anyway, so come on in. I was wondering if there was a man hiding under that shining armor. I have a prescription for them. I can't fall asleep when I'm alone in bed.
Is this a gift from Mr. Page?
He gave them to me when we met. He was probably trying to buy his way into my favor. I lost the second one. I have a second glass if you want to loosen up. I have various hobbies. Sailing is one of the more innocent ones. I lead a busy social life. It's not a crime, is it, officer? Do you like it, officer? Such strong hands can probably tie strong knots. So, am I under arrest? Maybe you want to cuff me?
Be careful what you wish for. According to Mr. Page's schedule, you met often. Too often for business meetings.
That doesn't make me a murderer. Simon contacted me a month ago. He wanted me to join Mills's campaign office. We slept together a couple of times, and there was something electrifying about it. Secrecy, his connections with OCP, the consequences if we were found out. And we were. His assistant figured it out. She must have reported us, and OCP killed him. They were afraid he might give me Mills's campaign details.
You claim that Agatha Crane knew about your affair.
Not only knew, but she blackmailed Simon. She's ambitious. She wanted to get a promotion out of it, but Simon fired her.
When was Agatha fired?
Maybe a week ago? You should talk to her, not me.
I intend to do that. Please stay at our disposal.
Missing you already.
Where is Agatha?
A very good question.
When you left, I came inside to take her statement, but there was no one here. Kurt showed up soon after.
We've been looking for the lady ever since, but she's vanished into thin air. She couldn't have left the office without us seeing her, though.
We must find her. New evidence suggests that she is the murderer.
Once again, let's just check every corner. She couldn't just disappear.
How do we know that the missing lady is the one who did this?
She had a motive. She threatened to reveal Page's affair to get a promotion. He fired her instead.
A secret button hidden in the desk. It's getting more interesting.
As long as it's not red, I think we can...
The case of the mysterious disappearance solved. Now all we have to do is open that door.
It looks like she used a computer. Maybe we can find something there.
A message here says there is a panic room in this office. There is also an access code.
Panic room, Magnavolt. This Page guy didn't like to let anyone in.
At least the hide-and-seek game is over. Open sesame!
Ah, sure. Keep reminding me of the delicious sesame sprinkled
Just delete
burger
already.
we haven't eaten yet.
Agatha Crane, you are under arrest for the murder of Simon Page.
It was just removing an obstacle.
You have the right to remain silent.
I had the right to do it. He didn't even realize that by blackmailing him, I proved that I'll do anything for the job. What else would you want from a political strategist?
You have the right to an attorney.
This is my attorney. I wasn't born to end up in jail. I was born for great things, and only I decide my fate.
You committed a crime. You should suffer the consequence.
We'll see. Unpredictable little things. Again, it's frustrating when they ruin even the best schedule.
Everything will go according to plan for the next several decades.
Okay, lady, show's over. You're coming with us. I hope they throw away the key. Because of your cold-blooded murder, I'll have to reheat my burgers.
PlayStation